YouTube, how we doing? PPS back. It is Wednesday's show here. You guys know the drill. We're coming at you guys for Thursday night football action, along with Week 8 DFS. Man, we're already halfway through the NFL season, and we're finally starting to get into that full groove right now. I think we're 8 for our last 9 overall. Everything's kind of clicking at the right time. Everything's been going well for both of us. So obviously, joined as always by my guy Monotone Football. How we doing, Stu?
Yeah, really can't complain. It's that kind of good time of year where NFL and NBA are kind of going hand in hand together. A little college football mixed in on the weekends as well. It's a good time of year. The shows have been doing good. Like you said, we were one Jacoby Myers yard away from back-to-back sweeps. So luckily for me, that was the only bet I lost that day, and it was also the smallest one. And shout out to whoever brought up like defense or something on that last show, because I remember we talked about Roquan at the very end, right? We were discussing Roquan, and then I ended up making that my biggest bet of the day, and actually my biggest bet of the season so far. So it was fun. It was a good Monday Night Football, and I'm actually a lot more excited for Thursday than I feel like most people are. So I'm ready.
Yeah, no, I'm pumped for it. Let's go through it. We'll do our recap and then get our full numbers out because the numbers are looking pretty nice here. Dude, I'm not going to lie. I was watching Black Adam, bro. We went to Black Adam Monday night. Didn't even watch it because I told you off camera, but I needed Nick Folk to go under 6 fantasy points for me to win one league. And I needed Patriots defense to go under 9 points to win my other league. And it both happened. Come out of the movie. Fantastic movie, by the way. I thought it was very, very good. If you didn't see it yet, you probably should. But, yeah, watch that. It came out. I look at my phone. I'm like, 20 fucking points? What? And then all of a sudden I look on Twitter and appreciate all the engagements and stuff on all of these videos, guys. Everything's been really good there. But Twitter I have like 15 notifications for some reason. Like, I'm like, oh, shit, something must have popped off. Like I had my NBA plays off. Maybe he cooked in the first half. All of a sudden I just get Mac Jones is a bum. Yeah, let's go. Mac Jones sucks. And I'm like, yeah. And he ended up with 6 pass attempts, 3 for 6. And I'm like, I think I mentioned it to you off camera. I'm like, dude, he could get pulled, bro. And I'm like, I should have bet on that. I should have bet on Zappy to outthrow Jones because it was crazy that he was pulled that early.
Yeah, no, the Zapster came in, and it didn't go too well. He had that touchdown to start it off. Everyone was fired up, QB controversy, and then it kind of went downhill from there. It looks like you made the right decision to go see Black Adam. I'm gonna have to follow you on that. I got to catch that. So Monday was actually my chance too as well, and I actually chose the game over Black Adam. So maybe a mistake. My Wizards did play. We lost 2, so tough day all around.
Yeah, no, it should be. Fantastic NBA day. Obviously today, but we're coming at you for some NFL today. Let's take a look. These numbers are starting to get real nice here. 8.7 almost units there, profit, halfway point of the season. Let's check out who's in the chat with us. We appreciate all you guys popping in here, like mid-20s of you guys in here. We got Carlos in here, Steve, Terrence. Yes, hopefully we can get another sweep. I really like my play today, and I'm excited to hear what you have to say about yours here. We got Byron in here also. This is a quick question for you. Where do you get your first quarter stats? Do you just look them up and just type in first quarter numbers on
StatMuse? StatMuse is the place to go, baby. Use that search bar. It's great. StatMuse has everything. Love those guys.
Listen, first comment, Mark B. We appreciate it. If you guys can, smash that like button. And, yeah, let's kind of go over it here. 2 teams kind of struggling right now, right? We got the Buccaneers and the Ravens. Do you have a preference on a side here? We're seeing a 1-point spread. It's been kind of stuck at that 1-point number, right? We haven't really seen it move too much. A pretty high total for a primetime game. I think 45.5. Brady, Lamar, Evans, Andrews. There's a lot of big-time dudes in like the DFS market if you're a showdown guy, so that makes it a little bit more fun. But do you have a side preference? Do you have a little bit more lean to a side, or are you looking more at the total if you had to pick one non-prop related?
Yeah, for me, this is one of those games I'm a little bit more thankful I'm not, paid to write on the side, right? Because I don't really know. It feels like you either have to have a pretty strong opinion that like Tom Brady isn't going to lose again. It's never happened and he's never lost 3 games, something like that. I don't really feel that strongly. My thought is this feels more like an over game to me. I'm not normally a sides or totals, but the over does kind of stick out a little bit. Both these teams have injuries on their secondary so far, and it feels like both these teams are kind of in need of that offensive explosion game we've been waiting for, right? The Bucs disappointment after disappointment so far this year. And then we look on the other side, the Ravens. They're winning close games. They're beating teams they should be. They're then losing in dramatic fashion to teams like the Bills and Dolphins where they just couldn't hang on to a lead. It's really hard to get a good read on this Ravens team. Like, are they for real contenders? They're not really showing it so far, but they're also playing good first half football, at least in some of these games. So I'm just expecting a lot of offense and two kind of get right spots for both of these teams.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to actually be talking about that first half stuff here in a little bit. But yeah, I think it is an over game. I think it is. I mean, I'm not going to go into a bunch of details here because I will be involved with my play here coming shortly. But I do think this is an overs game. I'd be really, really surprised if the Buccaneers defense could slow down Lamar just with how bad they've looked here. And I think that we're going to start seeing, if GOAT PJ Walker now, he's pushing Geno Smith, can just torch these dudes. I mean, they got some weapons out there, obviously, with Andrews, and I think Bateman did practice today. I saw he was limited maybe, but I did see he was there at practice, so that obviously makes things a little bit easier too. Alrighty, I think we should just go into it. I think we should just go right into our plays here. Like I said, I really like both of these spots. I think we'll be kind of related again in this one. So I will kick it to you first with a half unit play for you.
Yeah, I'm going a little bit, maybe not where people might expect, right? A lot of big names in this one. Lamar, Mike Evans. I'm going Cade Auden right here, over 28.5 receiving yards. This is the tight end for the Bucs, for anybody that doesn't know. I bet his touchdown last night before the Cameron Brate news, so I was feeling good about it already. Then I saw Cameron Brate was officially ruled out, which is great news for Auden, who's kind of served as the next man up in both games that he's played without Brate. He's posted a very impressive he's posted very impressive both snaps and targets, but specifically the last two games, 80 and 90% snap share. I did notice, I don't know if you knew this, Kyle Rudolph is still in the NFL. Did you know that?
I did know that. I'll tell you the only reason I knew that was because he went on, I was watching golf and he was on and talking on the announcer thing. And they brought up, oh, you're in Tampa. Only reason I knew he was there. I was trying to watch him golf to see if I could get some tips on my swing. And that was the only reason I knew Kyle Rudolph was even in the league.
Yeah. I mean, I was following him last week because I bet a little bit on him, in a parlay personally. And I saw Kyle Rudolph pop up in the ESPN snap share or snap count or whatever. And I was shocked. But Kyle Rudolph obviously hasn't going to play a very integral part as seen by Auden's 80 and 90% snap usage. The matchup is great too, right? If you follow me, then you probably cashed in on David Njoku last week on his receiving yards. That was one of my favorite plays at only 37.5 receiving yards. And what I found out is in back-to-back games before that matchup, the Ravens have allowed the tight end to be the leading receiver in those two games. And if we look, every single tight end has gone over their yardage mark this season against the Ravens, except Tyler Conklin in week number 1. And even in that game, he had 4 catches. It just only went for 16 yards. So we've seen tight ends absolutely demolish the Ravens week after week after week. So we get a prime matchup. And I mean, to be frankly honest, Tom Brady loves these tight ends, right? He loves these checkdowns, these safe options. We know Tom Brady doesn't like pressure, right? He's finding Fournette. He's finding the tight ends. And this was the same number last week. I expected it to go up with him hitting it, right? He was in the mid-50s last week. I was expecting 31, 32, 33. Now that we're getting it at the same price as last week, I definitely want to hop on right here. And I bet this one closes above 30 as well.
Yeah, no, a lot of these younger tight ends coming into the league and making a difference right away. It's a nice new thing to see, right? You haven't really seen this many athletic tight ends in the league right now. I'm trying to think of who the other one I'm thinking of right off the top of my head that just kind of started in. Bellinger for the Giants is that athletic type of tight end. Obviously, he's hurt right now. I think he had some eye surgery or something there. But, yeah, I'm actually going to be kind of talking about this as well with that safe spot there. And I'm going to Tom Brady. I'm going to Tom Brady completions. I feel like this is the safest way to play Tom Brady in this game. one thing I did talk about last week when I went into Jimmy G was first half scoring, right? We want our quarterback to be losing. Baltimore, top 5 in the NFL in first half scoring. They've been absolutely fantastic until the fourth quarter. Dude, they just fall apart in the fourth quarter. If we look at the last they have not had a 10-point game, a double-digit game since week 1 when they beat the Jets, right? And if we look at Tom Brady's numbers here, games that are decided within 10 points, which is most of them, right? He's hit this in 4 or 5, right? He's hit this in the last 4 or 5 as well. And also, he's hit it in, if you go to 25, he's had at least 25 completions in every loss that he's played, right? So I don't know who's going to win. I'm not in the business of picking a side here. But if I'm going to have a guy who loves a check down, right, you have 2 fantastic running backs who can catch the ball very well, Fournette and Rachaad White. I love Rachaad White. I think what he does for this offense and that change of pace is great. Otten there, I wasn't even going to talk about him, but obviously now I can because he's very athletic. He's obviously open on a lot of these dump offs. He's like that other option there. And how many of these games have we just seen unreal pass numbers for Tom Brady versus run numbers, right? There's multiple games this year where Leonard Fournette has not even rushed the ball 10 times, right? And Tom Brady right now, even though he's been, I would say, bad for his standards, still completing 67% of the passes. And if we're going to have Fournette rush the ball 12 times, 10 to 12 times, throw the ball, 38, 40 times, that's all I really need if he's hitting is just average numbers here. And I think that he's not going to want to take these sacks. It's going to be quick, pretty even. I think it's only -1 for pass block advantage here. So I think that this is the way to attack the Ravens. Their secondary is definitely the weakest point. And I love this spot. This might actually get a 1.5 to 2 unit spot for me, to be honest.
Yeah, and I mean, if you've watched the show for a while, I think I've had maybe 1 completions play on like the whole time. I don't really do these markets, but this number just sounds way too low to me, right? With everything you're saying right there. The biggest regret I had earlier in the season, I bet Leonard Fournette live rush attempts when they were up, right? They were up. This was like a game they could have sealed. They constantly dumped the ball down to him and chucked down to multiple people during that drive, right? Like, this was a game where they could have sealed it just by running the ball. That is the only thing they had to do all game. And Brady was still check down. So the fact that you can get this at reasonable odds, I mean, I definitely like Tom Brady this week, 100%. I don't bet these markets, but I'm going to tell you 100%.
Sorry, I was blocked by my vision in the right peripheral vision here of the bot coming in here. And Cody, I think that's still a good spot, but I literally kind of said, if I'm going to have a guy who's 67 to 70% completion percentage, I would just prefer to go completions if I'm going to be thinking it's just going to be dump offs, which I think it will be with the pass rush for the Ravens here. So I'm just going to take that one. I think that one's a little bit safer there. And yes, that was the name I was actually trying to think of. But Bellinger did pop into my head as well. So they're both in that same realm of young, good athletic tight ends there. So
Cole Turner too, DC. Wait, right? Yep, Cole Turner, big Nevada guy.
I don't even know who that is, to be honest.
Okay, rookie out of Nevada, 10 touchdowns in his last season at Nevada. Remember that name right there. If Logan Thomas misses, Cole Turner is going to get a touchdown eventually. I'm going to keep betting it. Okay, we'll talk about that on Friday though.
Yeah. I mean, is he getting the what's his face's name? Your guy, your long shot, Smythe. Is he getting the Smythe treatment? So you're just gonna bet him, and then when you stop, he scores a touchdown, or what?
Yeah, it's probably going to happen on the game where Logan Thomas is healthy and he's finally healthy, and then we're going to see a touchdown at like 22-1. But Smythe, that's out of sight, out of mind. We just have to refocus and focus on our new favorite tight end guys.
So before we head into our plasma screen game choices here, let's head into Pickett Taylor fade section. Ramondre did not get there in the last one, which was good for us. Heading over to Mike Evans, we faded him. We were right on the last Pickett Taylor fade. Everybody loves backing Mike Evans. I don't know what he did for you guys, or if you guys just think because he signed those autographs, which I guess was something about golf. Did you see that? It was supposed to be like they're from like the same place, or he knows like his brother or something, and he was getting them in contact with like somebody who runs like a golf course or something like that. And it wasn't, and everybody just blowing it out of proportion, dude. I just love it, dude. It just took a mind of its own, and within like 30 minutes of seeing that video, there was like 19 different stories of what actually happened. But that one I seen by like an actual news reporter. So I'm going to take that one over like some of these bots out there.
Twitter.
So, crazy how fast that wildfire blew up there. But I'm heading back to Mike Evans here. Do you have a thought? Obviously, Ravens secondary is usually where you like to attack these guys. I'm probably going to be in that spot where I just don't know yet. So I'm going to let you kick us off. Over 67.5, is this a spot you want to go to?
It's always risky with Evans because if anyone on this team is getting those bombs down the field, it's Mike Evans, right? I mean, we saw it to start off last game. He dropped a walk-in touchdown, right? I think the whole world saw that on Red Zone and then on Twitter afterwards. So I think he gets a chance to redeem himself. I do initially lean under right here. It's kind of a high number, a little higher than I might have expected. But if I do believe that this is going to be an offensive game, we're going to kind of trade blows back and forth. Maybe Lamar breaks off a big run. Feels like Mike Evans has got to be the answer. For anyone that's paying attention, Chris Godwin, his ADOT has like plummeted. I mean, he went from running like very, different routes, even though he was mainly a slot guy. And now he's kind of running like the Hunter Renfrow, Curtis Samuel special, which is, we kind of expect a little bit more, right, from Chris Godwin, but he hasn't been that so far. That kind of just leaves a lot of the downfield action. I mean, all these check down. You do that to open up the deep shot. So I actually initially was going to come in here and say under, but now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more, I'll tail the public on this one. They got my trust a little bit right here.
Yeah, I'm going to go over as well. I think this is a spot we are both on as under. Cash is under. I think that going to the over here is a spot to do so. I also think they're going to be trailing, and I think Mike Evans is going to have to be the guy to stretch the defense maybe once or twice down the field and obviously hopefully make that catch. But shout out Mike Evans. I'm also tailing you because by you dropping that touchdown, you won me my fantasy week last week. So thank you. You're my boy. Now I'm backing you, and I'm going to be backing you in this spot. Got to. He's a friend of the show now for dropping that touchdown, helping your boy out here. So looking like Mark's dropping 24.5 on FanDuel. Go grab that one. I think that's great. Hopefully it's not too juiced or Plus Money Bob's going to have my ass for giving you a minus 135 spot there. But we're too with the DFS portion of the show. Like I said, trying to be around that 30-minute mark here. Stu, what's the game? What is the game on the plasma? What one's heading to the laptop? Two games that you're looking forward to and maybe attacking, possibly stacking. Where are we looking here?
Well, first of all, I'd like to make a proposition. Can we ban the London games? Is anyone else not like London? I feel like I'm on an island over here, but we constantly send over the worst possible product year after year where I have to now wake up early and spend more time. We're both going to be watching football for like 12 hours already. And now I'm supposed to wake up early to watch this disgusting game. Steve says he sleeps through the London games. Spoiler alert, I do too. I'd rather just sit in a Twitter Spaces or something like that. Like, oh my God, now we get, this week, this one definitely does not get the alarm clock. Broncos finding themselves on primetime once again, if London counts as primetime. Anyway, now that we got that rant and proposition out of the way, because I would like to ban London games. I am serious. I never want to watch those again. Let's move over to this week. I mean, I'm going to have Colts Washington up on the big screen, but I think this is kind of shitty week, by the way, but I think Rams 49ers is the game to watch. I really wanted to pick the 49ers and the Rams this week. So when I went to check who they were playing, I was a little bit disappointed because I really do feel like this bye week was a good chance for the Rams to kind of focus up. They're getting some O-line healthier. They're getting a little bit better as a team. I think they're the same pieces that won last year, right? I think the Rams are a good team. They don't beat the 49ers, though. So I don't know how that game's going to go, but I would have to say that's probably my favorite game of the week.
And then you're getting the laptop of Washington Indy. That's the laptop game there.
Well, wait, are we using laptop as good or bad? It depends.
Laptop is, so you have your big, 70-inch. That one I'm guessing is Niners. And then you have your little corner one that you have like your spots there where you're having, I guess, the Colts in Washington in that spot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%.
All right. I got two different ones, which is good. I want to see Tua in this offense against the shitty Detroit defense. I want to see what happens. I want to see Hopefully a fully healthy Detroit offense here. You're going to probably have Swift back. He was 50-50 on playing last week, which means I'd assume he's probably back. We have the Amon-Ra St. Brown fake concussion. He is back. Everything's full there. We'll be talking about him in the DFS portion for your boy here. But so I think that game will be heading to my laptop. Big boy game. How could I not watch Goat Gino in his spot against the 6-1 Giants? He is a 3-point favorite. Put respect on that boy's name. -3 at home versus a 6-1 team. Vegas is giving my boy respect. Finally, they're putting respect on his name. Finally, I can't wait to see what Goat Gino does here. I am streaming Mr. Daniel Jones in a league too, so he's going to get the stream for Herbert this week. So they're giving him a 3-point. They're -155 against a 6-1 Giants team. Was not expecting to see that. Both of my plays for my DFS spots will be in those games as well. So a little bit of both, a little mixing of both there. But
Can I bring up one more game
what
too?
Is that spread?
Yeah, I have no clue. I don't understand. That's why I don't get paid to talk about spreads, right? I mean, like it's one of those that feels like a trap, right? I mean, it just feels like they're kind of luring you in to take the other side, and it also shows they don't believe in the Giants. So I guess it depends on if you do. I don't know. That's a no bet for me. That's like a bright red flag just sitting there. Just please ignore this game. I was also curious what you thought. I know this is a bit of a weird one. I want to see the Bears-Cowboys game this week. Justin Fields coming off a good performance against a good defense. Still no offensive line. I mean, he could lead the league in rush yards this week. He could just take off every play because that O-line can't save him at all. I kind of want to take the Bears. They're like +9.5. I could see that getting to +10, maybe even 10.5. I don't know. I kind of want to ride the high of the Bears right here, but maybe you need to talk me out of that or something.
Yeah, I can't, dude. It's just there's no way in my mind I can fathomably take the Bears in this spot. It's just asking for a letdown. The thing is the Cowboys have such fast defensive line. Their line is so fast that I think that they're going to be pushing Fields to actually try to run outside. And I just don't think he's going to be able to get there. I'm just not a fan. I just don't know how they're going to slow them down. Like even Goff with one of the best offensive lines in football was getting annihilated, right? How are we going to see separation from Equanimous St. Brown, who was a number 4 on the Packers? Where's the separation there? Darnell Mooney ain't getting separation either. So I really do not know if they're going to look like the Atlanta Falcons of last week, where they're just trying to run the ball because they can't pass, even though the Falcons actually have weapons. We talked about it, but I just do not know where this is going to come from. I think this Dallas defense, I would say I would push it to like 8 sacks. I bet you they get 8 sacks in this game, bro. They average like 5 a game. Where's the stopping going to be here? It's a bloodbath.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, they'll get credit too if he runs it like 1 yard behind the line of scrimmage. They get credit for like a sack on like a runaway right there. But
it might be 9 or 10 sacks in this game.
I don't know. I'm kind of feeling like a Justin Fields 100 rush yards kind of game. I mean, the thing about Jared Goff is once he feels pressure, he just goes down. He can't move. Justin Fields senses pressure from like 15 feet away and takes off. He's like, I'm not going down with these guys. He's running for his life. So I see what you mean. Parsons to a speedy guy on the outside, right? Not someone that's easy to get the edge on, but it feels like he's going to be running for his life. And yeah, they'll take a bomb or two down to Equanimous St. Brown. They don't consistently move the ball. That's definitely not their thing. But if you're just chucking bombs down the field, you'll get a pass interference. Cornerback won't turn around, something like that.
Or just picked, and they're down 21 in the first half. And it's just, I mean, and now that you brought that up, I probably will be taking Dallas first half and full game. It's just asking for my money, dude. I just don't know what they're going to do. I don't know how they're going to stop it. I would really like to see it happen here. I just don't think isn't it in Dallas?
Probably.
Oh my God. This is literally just asking to get, dude, he's going to get murdered, dude. He's going to get absolutely killed. And
there's the money line. It's going in. Where's Dan? Someone put some positive things about the Bears in the chat. So let's get
God, dude.
Some Bears hype going. I see that flag in your background. Okay.
Well, dude, I wouldn't even say it because of that. I'm just saying, like, you're going to head into Jerry World and beat those guys with their ears pinned back for the entire second half. And Pollard's about to run for 150 on him, dude. Pollard, my boy. He's about to cook him.
Who's their other back then? I just see Plus Money Bob said Zeke is going to miss this week. Who's their other back besides Tony Pollard?
I mean, I don't know if he's officially out, actually. I saw that he didn't practice.
He said likely to miss, so he's getting that from some sources, apparently.
Well, dude, that means just Pollard's about to run for 152 touchdowns, and
we'll see. Who's the back, though? Who's the other guy? Do they have a big, like, baller, like a tough guy, or they've got a pass catching back? Because I don't see Tony Pollard as a 3-down back. And I mean, it's not me. Nobody sees him as that because he would be that, with obviously the output he has. He catches passes, comes in, I don't know.
Did you watch the Lions game last week?
Yeah, no, Tony Pollard is good, but you see him.
He literally was running and moving stuff in the tackle.
The Lions are like the worst defense we've ever seen in the NFL. They gave up 45 to Geno Smith, okay?
And now look how good that looks. Look how good that looks against Geno -3 against the Giants. That is how good. The Vegas knows how good he is. I'm telling you right now, I will put money on it that Pollard has over 100 total scrimmage yards if Zeke's on it. I will make a friendly bet on that for here on the show. He's going for 100. I don't even think it's easy. I don't even think it's close. This man's about to
backup running back.
Crazy. I don't even know. He doesn't need a backup.
He wouldn't be able to fend off 100%. Marlon Mack if he was over there. Bring in Marlon Mack. Get those nice 3-down runs.
I would love Marlon Mack, dude. I have him in all these best balls in my last pick of every one of these drafts. And the dude just hasn't found it. He's on 7 teams, bro. I don't even know where he is. I think he's in Denver now, dude. Yes, exactly, dude. Pollard's gonna freaking just do it, and then he's gonna take on Washington, and then maybe go for 250 against them, dude. Is this how good Tony Pollard is? Dude was moving piles. Dude. He was moving tons of work against that Detroit defense. And dude, the Detroit defense these last 2 weeks, what happened? I've been trying to fade them, and I can't. I can't fade them because now they're actually playing defense. I'm like, dude, I've been trying to actually do something about it.
I don't know. I don't know if the Lions are playing defense. I think I saw
the last 2 weeks they're playing defense and they can't score.
We'll see. Maybe we will have to make a bet on this. We'll see. I'm seeing Rico Donwadili is the backup, which isn't looking good for me right here. So
Pollard, he probably gonna get 100 because I don't think they got a backup in this dude's freaking on one, dude. What do you have? I think he had 100 last week and he had Zeke there.
Yeah, a lot of people bet on him last week, which I was glad to see those wins. But we'll see, because I don't want to back myself into going against 100% snap share Tony Pollard, okay? I don't know about that.
Dude's going to be pushing those. He's going to be the top. I might have to bet him has most rushing yards this week and make myself a nice band there for sure. Malik Davis. That sounds good for Tony Pollard. I like that a lot. It sounds good for me on my side of this bet. Tony Pollard, baby.
Not sure that is. So that's not looking great. We'll see. We'll see what those lines are. They'll probably be high, right? They'll probably, what do you think, 65 rush yards, something like that?
Dude, if it ain't 100, I'm betting it. If it ain't 100. Hey, for your battle of the bets, if you want to win, do the alt line 100. 100 plus Tony Pollard rushing yards. You can thank me later on that because you'll be making bands.
Hey, Battle of the Bets comes out in 30 minutes. So after you're done here, go check that out. But we'll keep it moving now. We don't have to argue about. Yeah, Steve's put an 80 rush, 35. Woo! See, I can see that. Like I'm not a full on hater, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
12 carries, 120 rush yards, 3 catches for 35, 2 touchdowns. That's what it's going to be. That's my prediction. But we're over to the Cowboys again for our DFS cheap guy. I'll let you talk about a different Cowboy because Tony Pollard is about to drop 200, so I don't even know if Schultz is going to even see a target this week with Tony Pollard 30 carries.
I like yours though. I just wanted to say I'm going to be playing Wandell too. Obviously, we don't talk about it. We like to be raw, fresh, organic, whatever. But Wandell's like my guy too, 100%. I'm betting on him right here. So love that right there. I'm going to Dalton Schultz though, who I still feel like should be priced up with a higher tier of tight end. I don't know what Dalton Schultz did to Cooper Rush and his family. I don't know his mom. I don't know what I hope there wasn't a Zach Wilson situation going on over here. But Cooper Rush hated Dalton Schultz. I mean, these guys had absolutely no chemistry. What happened? Schultz came back, had a good game with Dak Prescott, the guy who he's kind of constantly relied on as a safety blanket. And to be honest, Schultz was banged up in that game. He got injured. I remember I had him 31 receiving yards. He got injured at like 28. I was like, oh, great. It's going to be my third injury loss of the day. But he came back. He was limping around out there a little bit. It looks like he's practicing this week. Looks like he should be ready to go. Like I said, he's a safety blanket, and I think he's being priced kind of still as like if Cooper Rush were starting. But we've got a new regime in. Dak loves Schultz, so I'm going to be going with another Cowboy that's not Tony Pollard for my chief guy this week.
I mean, Tony Pollard, hey, we've been on that train. We're going to be standing on it. It's me and right here, my boy Tony Pollard. Right here is my boy Geno Smith, baby. We're ready to go, and I'm going to be heading to Geno Smith's team here. I'm fading him. Wan'Dale Robinson. I kind of think the same way we were thinking that this line is just asking people to bet the Giants, right? So it's -3 for Seattle. I think Seattle does win this game. And I think Seattle, to win this game, is going to have to sell out to stop Saquon Barkley. I think it's going to have to be complete sellout to stop them. They're the worst team, or most rush yards allowed is Seattle this year. So I think they're going to obviously have to stop the number one weapon, which is Saquon Barkley. Wan'Dale Robinson, he got hurt at the end of the first half. He had 8 targets in the first half. Didn't get one in the second half. I think he was just a decoy out there. I really, truly do. But they just put him out there because if you're out there, then we can't have 9 guys in the box. They have to be aware of you out there because there's really nobody else. Kadarius Toney, I don't think is practicing again. I don't know what is going on with Kenny Galladay. I don't know. I'm not even going to speculate. I'm sure it's not anything nice. But Wendell's their only option. Bellinger had an eye surgery that he just had. So where is those targets going to? Wendell's the guy. He's the only guy. I don't think that there's anybody on Seattle that'll really have to deal with it. And if you look at Seattle, they're the 4th worst in yards allowed per catch in the NFL. So maybe some yards after catch this week for Wendell. Last week, I think he had 6 catches there. I think he's going to have a great chance to pay off this $4,700 price tag.
I know I'm going to be stacking Wan'Dale this week 100%. And I have to say, whatever his betting number is, I'm probably going to have to get there too. I mean, he is, like you said, the only wide receiver on this team. I mean, target competition is a big thing, right? Who is Mike Evans competing with? Well, he's competing with Chris Godwin every week. You know, a lot of these guys, who's Jamar Chase competing with? T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd. That's something you seriously have to consider on a week-by-week basis. Here, we luckily don't have that. I mean, I have great memories of betting Kadarius Toney last season. I wish he'd come back, but the guy, we can hamstring donation program, both hamstrings have been injured this season, which is amazing. So I'm sorry to him. I hope he gets back soon. But for now, Wan'Dale's the guy out there. And like you said, I mean, he was peppered with targets in the first half. Every single thing was going his way. I've had a lot of slander in the past over short wide receivers, right? In my general opinion, if you're drafting someone under 5'8", you can just write that guy off. He'll be on the waiver wire in a couple of years and someone else can try him out. Ask Andy Isabella how that's going. You know, a lot of these short wide receivers, Tutu Atwell got his first catch of the century last week after being drafted in like the 2nd round. You normally just don't want to do that unless you're really going to use this wide receiver to their full potential, right? A lot of gadget plays, a lot of creativity, a lot of motion. Daboll's a creative guy. They got him the ball in creative ways. I wouldn't be shocked if we see 2 or 3 rush attempts as well, which is always good. Get you another 15 or so yards right there. I like Wan'Dale this week. I'll probably be betting on him also.
I love it. Love to hear that we are kind of on the same page there for those. And heading over to our studs, not crazy expensive here for either one of our guys, but still 2 wide receivers that we're wanting to back here. I'll kick it to you for DeAndre.
Yeah, well, I'm interested in what you have to say about Amon-Ra St. Brown because the guy's killed my fantasy team the last couple of weeks. So I'm not very keen to believe you. I'll go to another star receiver that's not that much more expensive. We're going DeAndre Hopkins. There were a lot of tempting guys this week. You know, I thought about running Kenneth Walker back as my pick. He obviously killed last week. But Hopkins, after everything we saw in primetime, man, I'm convinced that connection, Kyler's record, just look at it with Hopkins, look at it without Hopkins. That's his guy, right? And I didn't think it was going to be established so soon. But as someone that bet Rondale Moore last week, I don't think Kyler looked at him in the second half. I mean, he made that one throw to start off the game, like the first play of the game. I don't think he looked at him for the rest of the game. I mean, every first look, Hopkins, triple coverage, doesn't matter. I'll get it in there. He has good hands. everything was going to DeAndre Hopkins right here. So I'm ready to run it back. And also, this is the one game we didn't talk about that's actually a pretty good game this week, right? Minnesota, Arizona. What does that scream? 55-point total, something like that. We're getting offense in this one, and I have a hard time believing it goes through anyone besides DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, for sure. And kind of to your point before about who are you competing with targets with, Amon-Ra St. Brown is literally competing with targets with Khalif Raymond. That was the number one receiver when he was gone, dude.
Yeah.
Hawkinson wasn't even involved in the second half of that game. Josh Reynolds, who we thought would be number 2, wasn't even involved in their last game. And now we look at this spot. Miami, I think, absolutely just destroys these corners. I don't think these corners have a chance in covering Tyreek Hill. And I love to see that Tua is just force-feeding Tyreek and Jalen Waddle. That's what you have to do here. Screw throwing the ball to Mike Gesicki, dude. Stop trying to throw the damn ball to Mike Gesicki. I'm tired of watching that shit throwing 3 yards. If you throw a 3-yard pass to Tyreek, that ball could be 70 yards on the field in about 3 seconds, right? So give Tyreek the ball. Obviously, I think Tyreek goes off this week, but he was a little too pricey for me in this section because obviously, guys, if we wanted to, we would just say, hey, start Patrick Mahomes, start Josh Allen, right? Those guys are obviously studs that you should bet on.
Yep.
But Detroit could obviously have DeAndre Swift back. We did talk about their offensive line. They still have a minus 15% run block advantage this week. They're a very good pass protecting team, even though Dallas obviously absolutely nuked them. But Amon-Ra, dude, we look at his last 4 games, right? He didn't play. He had a game where he played the Patriots around 21 or 20, I think it was 21 and a half, ended up being 29-0. They just didn't even throw the ball, right? I don't even know if he played at the end of the game. He only had 4 catches for 15 yards. And then obviously the game he got hurt. So recency bias is just all the way down, dude. Let's look at the first 3 games, dude. He's still averaging 16 points a game. And that's his last 3 games. He's still averaging 16. So he dropped a 40-pointer, dropped a 30. And then we kind of saw that last year game, right? 9 catches for 80 yards. That'll get the job done at 6,900 for me. Obviously, I think they're going to have to throw the ball around. I think Goff's going to have to be getting the ball out quick. Amon-Ra's been getting rush attempts too, exactly what you talked about there. I think he has 2 rushing touchdowns this year. Yeah. He's literally their gadget guy. And now that DeAndre Swift's there, I think that's going to help so much to kind of alleviate the pressure on him. We don't have to worry about having Khalif Raymond. I don't even know if he's going to play because this dude's not good. He just came in and now is the number 1. But that spot was previously filled by Amon-Ra before he went out, right? So I think they have to get him the ball. You got to give your best dudes a chance to make plays. Swift and Amon-Ra St. Brown, I think, are going to have a huge game if they want to have a chance against Miami. This offense, we saw that first half, and I think that's what it's going to look like for this entire game against this Detroit defense. Just up and down the field, attacking these guys. And then, we saw Pickens just pop off against these dudes too. So I'm not really worried about Miami's corners. We talked about how much they're injury-ridden right now in the secondary. Amon-Ra should cook, and whatever he's coming off of, it wasn't even a real concussion, so he's fine.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Obviously, he was on the way to being Cooper Kupp level prices at the beginning of the season. Everyone kind of embraced he's the new guy. The touchdowns were crazy to start out the season. Also, I guess my biggest concern would be probably Xavier Howard right here. Like you said, we've talked even 2 weeks ago at how bad he was, but after looking back at some of that film kind of last week, he looked a lot better. He looked a little bit more like himself. The thing is, Amon-Ra's going to be lining up all over the field, so I do think they're going to be strategically getting the ball to him when they can, because like you said, they don't have any other options. It's really 3 guys, and Swift might not even play. So at that point, it's legitimately 2 guys, and I think Amon-Ra, the volume alone, should be able to get him here.
Yeah, we were seeing double-digit targets in every one of those first 3 games. He will get force-fed the ball, because they will be losing in this game. So I just think, like you said, volume is king here in DFS, right? If you have chances, even NBA DFS, right, it's chances, opportunities. I think there's both of these guys have absolutely crazy volume numbers when they're healthy. And we are at the 4. Damn, that Tony Pollard argument must have gone for 10 minutes. Damn, dude, this thing is flying by. Appreciate all 30 of you guys staying through here. Smash that like button if you haven't already, and let's get to our recap for this week's Wednesday show.
Yeah, no, we probably lost a good 10, 15 guys, Tony Pollard discussion. So appreciate the troopers in here that stuck out through that. I'm going Cade on over 28.5 receiving yards in this one. It's minus 119 on Caesars. And then we're going over to Pickett, tail, or fade. And I'm going to be tailing Mike Evans over 67.5 receiving yards. Then finally up DFS. You guys won, Del, but I love that one just as much. I'm going Dalton Schultz over at 3,900. And then for my expensive guy, I'm going DeAndre Hopkins, 7,400. I mean, he probably should be a little bit more expensive than Amon-Ra St. Brown, don't we think? Especially against the Vikings. That feels like a pretty easy click to me this week.
Yep, I'm heading to Amon-Ra, baby. We're facing off against Miami. I love the spot here. Should see the crazy once there's one person in your face, Jared Goff, looking for Amon-Ra, chuck it at him and see what happens type of plays here. Love the spot for him. Wan'Dale Robinson, my boy here. Hopefully, I'm pretty sure they said he got hit in the nuts or something. I think that's what they said what happened. It said that on ESPN. It said got hit below the waist. So I'm going to assume that's what that means because I didn't obviously see the injury because I didn't want to watch a game with like a sub 40 total. And I'm heading over to Mr. Tom Brady, over 25.5 completions. And then I will be on the over with my boy Mike Evans. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll kick it to you, Stu. What do you got for the people before we head out today?
Yeah, man. Well, I'll be on Battle of the Bets in about 15 minutes. I'm going to for a historic run, just knocking off NBC guys one at a time. Today, I'm going against some guy that does a lot of hockey. So if you like hockey, you can get his picks. Our guy Brad Thomas gave out his golf winner at the end too as a little special, So I'm looking forward to just keep giving out winning NBA picks. No NFL today, so we stuck to NBA. So yeah, I want you guys to check out that and make sure to check out Pickett as well. I've been seeing more and more of you guys over there, more messages about it. It's a free app, right? They do the bet tracking. You can follow all of our action. I posted my touchdown a little bit earlier as an NBC guy myself. Nice work. I appreciate it. Maybe I'll see you on there one day and we'll go one-on-one, bring some of that past the prop energy. But yeah, it's been fun so far. But check out Pickett, code PTP. I don't want to get distracted. That's where we obviously post a lot of our stuff. A little spoiler, I posted Kate Auden to get a touchdown over there a little bit before the show started as well, too. So if you guys like that kind of stuff, make sure to follow us over there, code PTP.
Love it, love it, love it. Yes, of course. I know we've seen a lot more of you guys over there. We're starting to see a little our following through over there, which is awesome. So we can post a little bit more of our fun stuff over there for some crazier plays. But yeah, thank you guys, all you guys for tuning in, whether it be over here, whether it be on my YouTube stuff for Play of the Days. We appreciate all the support throughout. Again, hopefully this is the game here. We both win. We crush that 10 unit mark. I'm hoping we're able to get there. Yes, I did forget my water. So if I didn't forget it in the living room, because if I walk out there and grab my water, my dog is walking back in here with me. And if that happens, we're going to be just looking over here the whole time. Yeah,
it's impressive. Every producer I've probably ever worked with must hate me. I mean, I drink like 5 sips of water in like a 4-minute segment. Like if you watch Battle of the Bets, I probably do it twice. On my 10-minute FTM prop show, probably like 5 times. So that's actually a great question. I'm curious how you're able to go that long. That's good. We're talking. My voice would be all dry,
Oh, dude, I went to the gym already this morning, so I had to put like a gallon or so down already. I usually do. I even did it for my 5-minute Play of the Day video this morning. So I had like 3 drinks. So yeah, we just forgot it. It wasn't by choice. It was just it's bad. So I love that. Well, hopefully there's another guy who doesn't need to get a drink this week, and that guy is Tony Pollard. Stay on the field, Tony. We're ready for you to touch the ball 35 times this week. So thank you guys so much. Hopefully, I'm sure we'll be talking about Mr. Tony on Friday as well. Noon, we will have our guy AC on the show Friday. Very excited to have him back as well. Hopefully crushing another week with our guests. Again, guys, smash that like button on the way out, and let's crush it this week. If you guys need any more bets, make sure to follow both on Twitter for some NBA stuff. So have a good one, guys. We'll see you soon. Peace.